I think we have to find a way to coordinate what it is that we want to see, even if it's the 10 things have priorities. These are the top 3, and this is how we're going to coordinate the efforts together. I think we've got to figure out how to bridge then to now in terms of understanding the context of that March on Washington. It was a part of a greater strategy of getting comprehensive civil rights and address discrimination. So I think there's a lot we can learn from that movement in terms of how to conduct ourselves in helping to overcome these challenges that we're facing today so that we don't continue to get frustrated and weary and worn out. If you ever look at the individuals, from the young people to the older people, there was this kind of spirit of, we are making some things happen, and they had almost like a strange kind of joy on them. I know that's weird, but it was a strange kind of joy because they believed that what they were doing to make great sacrifices was going to bring about a change. And so they were willing to face some things that were very violent and despicable because they understood that 4th step of nonviolence, that unearned suffering is redemptive. They understood that they were trying to expose the ugliness that was happening so that they can galvanize more people to get the change that was needed. And so I think today we have to understand there was a strategy, there was an agenda, there was a focus. And I think today we try to tackle too much at one time, personally. That's just me. And I think it dilutes our strength. I think we have to find a way to coordinate what it is that we want to see, even if it's the 10 things have priorities. These are the top 3, and this is how we're going to coordinate the efforts together. Look very closely. We're not exactly where we were. You know, in 64 or 63, when they went to the march, there were very few registered Black voters. There were very few Black elected officials across the nation. And so we were on the outside. Now we're on the inside fighting against those things versus back then, we didn't have inside advocates, inside access. So even though things seem to be cyclical, I think with every iteration, there's a greater strength that we are gaining in the process. The problem is we haven't figured out how to connect the inside with those that are in the streets. And that's the linkage that's needed. So whenever you disconnect those two, then that's when you have some of the, feel like you're going around a mountain over and over and over again, because it all has to connect. And I think the movement did something in this cycle you're talking about that perhaps no other time in history has done.